Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's ceremony. The 2nd Marine Division Band, the Division Zone, was formed from elements of the 2nd, 6th, and 8th Marine Regiment bands. They came together for the first time in Wellington, New Zealand during World War II. Members of this band fought on Tarawa, Tinian, Wake Island, Guadalcanal, and Saipan. Since World War II, the 2nd Marine Division Band has continued its wartime missions, participating in both the Korean and Vietnam Wars as litter bearers, military police, and security forces. More recently, the band deployed in Operation Iraqi Freedom, serving as a security platoon in the Al-Anbar province, Al-Assad, and Fallujah. The 2nd Marine Division Band provides musical support for the 5 major commands and 47,000 Marines for whom Camp Lejeune is home. Known for their marching and musical excellence, the members of the Division Zone are proud of their role as musical ambassadors for the Corps. The 2nd Marine Division Band is under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer 4, Jack Davis, and is led on the march by Drum Major Staff Sergeant Jonte Hall. First selection, Army of the Nile, written by Kenneth J. Alford, is a tribute to the inspiring victories of British General Sir Archibald Wavell and his Western Desert Force in 1941. After numerous defeats at the hands of Italian Axis forces across North Africa, the British 6th Infantry and 7th Armored Division and the Indian 4th Infantry rallied to mount Operation Compass, which, under General Wavell's leadership, effectively ended Axis control of the region. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Alford's Army of the Nile. Henry Fillmore composed our next selection, the Klaxon, in 1930. Following in the footsteps of great American band leaders like John Philip Sousa, Fillmore started his own band in Cincinnati, and it was the last in the long line of great professional bands in America. Ladies and gentlemen, Henry Fillmore's The Klaxon. On June 14, 1777, during the American Revolution, the Continental Congress adopted a resolution stating that the flag of the United States be 13 alternate stripes, red and white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. Clearly inspired by our flag and this historic day, John Philip Sousa composed his greatest work, the official march of the United States of America, the Stars and Stripes Forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will commence momentarily. Please turn off all electronic devices and take your seats. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Lieutenant General Robert F. Hedelund, 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force Commander, welcome to today's change of command ceremony. The Marines and sailors executing today's ceremony represent the over 44,000 Marines and sailors of 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force. The commander of troops for the ceremony today is Colonel Robert S. Morgan.
Staff, forward!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for today's invocation to be given by 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force Chaplain, Captain Robert R. Christian, United States Navy.
Staff, heart rate, rest.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, the baton is passed today between two of the finest generals the Marine Corps has to offer. 2 years ago, General Hedelund was tasked with a new mission for II MEF, getting the entire MAGTF prepared for high-end warfighting. The speed and distance in which he has propelled II MEF in operational excellence and readiness is directly related to his insight, tenacity, and unwavering resolve. His common-sense approach to making decisions and deciding what matters most has been a demonstration of how you gifted him as a leader. His belief that the people of II MEF are the bedrock upon which victory is gained has been his common virtue. So as we say goodbye to the Hedelund family, we are grateful for their leadership, and we pray that you bless them in their next chapter. We look to the future with hope, knowing that General Beaudreault is no stranger to II MEF. You have guided his career so that he is ready for such a time as this. We ask for your wisdom in each step, each decision, so that if our nation calls, we will be lethal, reliable, and successful. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Take your post.
Present-day ceremonies in the Marine Corps have their basis in both history and tradition. The mass formation of troops on one long line, at close interval, made possible the massing of firepower from muzzle-loaded muskets of yesterday. In those early days, the line of battle was just that, a line of 2 or 3 ranks, and looked much like the parade formation you will see today. The adjutant forms the line for battle.
Staff, 10. Staff, forward, march.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the marching on of colors and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
The colors!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Force parade. Rest.
Staff, parade, rest.
Shut up.
This camera 2, repeat, last over.
We're just going to proceed as we go along. We'll make sure that regardless if you are or not live, you are still following along and panning as though you are live. Over.
10.
Present! Horse!
Take your post. Order! Huh! Out! Huh! Right shoulder! Huh! Out! Huh! Left shoulder! Huh! Out! Huh! Order! Huh! Proceed to report.
Report!
Second Marine Division Band, all present or accounted for. Second Marine Expeditionary Force Information Group, all present or accounted for. Second Marine Division, all present or accounted for. Second Marine Aircraft Wing, all present or accounted for. Second Marine Logistics Group, all present or accounted for.
Sir, all present and accounted for.
Publish the orders.
Second Marine Expeditionary Force, 13 June 2019. The officer of the day today is Lieutenant Matthews. The officer of the day tomorrow is Major Radigan. By order of Robert F. Hedelund, Lieutenant General, United States Marine Corps, commanding.
Officers! Center! Punch!
Ready, two, pump, march. Box the stack.
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the Commanding General, 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force, Lieutenant General Robert F. Hedelund.
Horse. Present. Horse. Staff. Present. Horse.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors to Lieutenant General Hedelund. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Staff, order, horse. Horse, order, horse.
Lieutenant General Beaudreault will now join the commander in the reviewing area.
Sergeant Major, deliver the colors to the commanding general.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the ceremony's most solemn moment, the actual passing of command. The colors of a Marine Corps unit symbolize the authority and accountability of command. Transferring the colors during the ceremony symbolizes the relinquishing of command by Lieutenant General Hedelund. By accepting the colors, Lieutenant General Beaudreault accepts command and confirms his total commitment to the Marines and sailors that he will lead. Sergeant Major Richard D. Thresher, 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force Sergeant Major, is delivering the colors to the commanding general. Please remain seated for the transfer of the colors.
Horse, present, horse. Staff, present, horse.
From the Commandant of the Marine Corps, to Lieutenant General Robert F. Hedelund, subject, relinquishment of command. Effective 13 June 2019, you will relinquish command of the 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force. Signed, Robert B. Neller, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. From the Commandant of the Marine Corps, to Lieutenant General Brian D. Beaudreault, subject, assumption of command. Effective 13 June 2019, you will assume command of the 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force. Signed, Robert B. Neller, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Staff, order, horse. Horse, order, horse.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors to Lieutenant General Brian D. Beaudreault, Commanding General, 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force, and remain standing for follow-on honors.
Horse, present, horse. Staff, present, horse. Staff, order, horse. Horse, order, horse.
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the reviewing officer for today's ceremony, Lieutenant General Mark A. Balakis, Marine Forces Command, Commanding General. Please be aware that there will be cannon fire during this portion of the ceremony.
Horse, present, horse. Staff, present, horse.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Order. Staff, parade, rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, a letter from the Commandant of the Marine Corps. For Lieutenant General Hedelund, Fuzzy, congratulations on a job well done. The accomplishments of 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force during your tenure are a direct reflection of your outstanding leadership. During your command, you not only focused on a culture of readiness, but one of resiliency. Your What Matters to Us campaign and emphasis on operational excellence, standards, readiness, and dignity and respect allowed II MEF to continue growing into its role as a warfighting MEF. Your collaboration with international partners, particularly during Trident Juncture, was critical in preparing our Marines for operations in extreme cold weather environments while operationalizing our Corps' maneuver warfare philosophy in a real-world contested information environment. I also know firsthand that your engaged leadership unquestionably helped the Marines, sailors, and families of II MEF begin to recover from the disastrous effects of Hurricane Florence last fall. The Marine Corps is grateful to you and Alicia for your leadership, as well as everything you do for our Marines, sailors, and their families. We wish you both the very best as you move on to your new role at the helm of MARFORCOM. For Lieutenant General Beaudreault, Brian, as you assume command of II MEF, know that you have my total trust and confidence. I know you will set the bar high and bring the same outstanding leadership you demonstrated as Deputy Commandant PP&O and throughout your career. Congratulations and best wishes to you and Karen as you take responsibility for II MEF's daily operations. Press on. Robert B. Neller, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Berlakis.
Thank you very much, Marine. Appreciate it. This good? Okay. Can everybody hear me all right? It sounds like it's working just fine. So, first thing I'd like to say is what a great day down here in the Carolinas. I think that the 2nd Marine Division Band got it right. Nothing can be finer on a day like today. It is the only day that you're going to experience this summer like this. And I'm not exactly sure what General Hedelund has got in the special sauce, but well done. Well, you got the Commandant to come down too, so you had it figured out. I did mention the Commandant during the portion of the ceremony that for individuals like myself and General Hedelund and the general officers around here, we spend an awful time listening to the President's Own and to the Commandant's Own. But I got to tell you, being down here just is a great reminder of exactly how good our field bands are. And Major General Furness, the 2nd Marine Division Band has never sounded better. Congratulations. Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Neller, Lieutenant General Hedelund, Alicia and Zoe, Lieutenant General Beaudreault, Karen, Lieutenant General McKissick, Lieutenant General Milstead, Major General Johannesson, Chief of Staff of the Norwegian Army, general officers and any flag officers that may have snuck by my attention. Good afternoon, good evening, excuse me, and welcome. Great honor for me to be a Marine who served down here at Camp Lejeune on 3 separate occasions. Bob, actually, not you anymore, Brian. I'm ready to run down to N Street and join the 10th Marines one more time and give it a go, because that was motivating, and thank you very much, General Hedelund. For everybody here, you've heard the Commandant's message, and what the Commandant's messages are famous for is that they leave very little left for the speaker to have a talk about. But I think there actually is much more to discuss about this MEF, this commander, and what's going on right now. And I will also specifically mention Major General and Mrs. Furness, Major General and Mrs. Heckel, Brigadier General Stewart, and Colonel Walzer the commanders of the major subordinate elements or commands in the 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force, because they have, through General Hedelund's guidance, leadership, mentorship, and the willingness to let them do what needs to be done, have done a great job in this organization under your tutelage, Bob. Commandant made a decision a while ago. He wanted to bring II MEF back to warfighting excellence with a commanding officer who could do that. You are that commander. You have done a tremendous job. In Norway, with the units that you've deployed to Afghanistan, the rotational support you're providing up in Norway, with the MARFORCOM, the Special Purpose MAGTF, Crisis Response, AF, all the organizations that you have developed, the MUs that continually go out to support their requirements in the Central Command, hopefully one of these days in the Mediterranean, Commandant. But all those things, I'm sure it's going to happen under Brian's watch, all those things that you have been doing. On top of that, you and I started out our partnership with a hurricane, okay? Not Florence, but another hurricane, which was followed by another hurricane and another hurricane. So 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force knows bad weather, okay? They have managed to fight through bad weather, and Hurricane Florence is no joke. The people down here understand it. The people who have been through hurricanes down here understand it. They've muscled through. It has created some financial issues for the MEF this year, and they've done it with the adept and careful management of his resources. General Hedelund has managed to meet almost all his requirements and more. He's found out how to make 6 cents out of a nickel. And that's a great Marine Corps trait, and one you're going to have to master in your next assignment. So good luck with that. But it's a wonderful day. And for General Hedelund, there is another opportunity for you. This has been foundational, I'm sure. You going up to MARFORCOM here in just a few weeks, short weeks, okay, is a great thing for the service, great thing for the command, great thing for II MEF. And I think it will serve General Berger, our next commandant in the Marine Corps, very well to have you there. Brian, quickly for you and Karen, congratulations. You're a good and honest helpmate when you're in PP&O. I appreciate your counsel and the things that you did for us. I appreciate you translating my madness to the commandant when I was at distance and you were really close. But you did a great job at PP&O on the readiness side and the global force management side and managing all the issues. I know this is a treat. I know this is just a heady day for you and for Karen. I wish you all the best. I'd like to just recognize Lieutenant General and Mrs. Beidler, please. You're so close. I wasn't wearing my glasses. My fault. And Sergeant Major Wiggins, my Sergeant Major at MARFORCOM, and Sergeant Major and Mrs. Thresher, the Sergeant Major here at II MEF. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting off the stage because you really want to listen to the others. This is a great day for the Marine Forces Command. Colonel Morgan, I want to thank you for a tremendous ceremony. The Marines that are represented here, Marines and sailors representing all the Marines and sailors at II MEF, look great. They've done a tremendous job. And I want to thank everybody for coming out here in the Carolinas to this ceremony to recognize these two great warriors, the accomplishments of Lieutenant General Hedelund, and what we know will be a great tour for Lieutenant General Beaudreault. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. I call him Mark now because he's not my boss anymore. It's a great evening. Commandant, thank you for joining us. Our distinguished visitors across the board, obviously having General Blackus down here to help us with the ceremony, and also my battle buddy from Trident Juncture and from Norway, Odin, is out there in the audience as well. Thank you for joining us, Odin Johansen. He's Chief of Army, Kingdom of Norway. That's a big deal. In their force in particular. I'm going to start off, obviously, by thanking the Lord. You know, the blessings that He has bestowed on the Hedelund family and on the II MEF family are innumerable. So that's where I have to start. And then it's kind of family and friends, and that means everybody who is here is a family member or a friend of the Beaudreaults or the Hedelunds or of II MEF writ large. So whether you traveled across the base or across the country to join us today, thank you. Yeah, I know what it's like to have to get on the road for events, and we appreciate your attendance here. One word comes to mind for II MEF for me every day, and that's excellence. And it's been talked about already a lot, from Trident Juncture to the hurricane, to the work that we have done as a team to try and up our game on the warfighting front. So I won't belabor that, other than to say it has been a joy and a wonder to watch and to share with this incredible force. But you don't get to the excellence part unless you have dedicated people. And dedicated people is what this MEF is all about. The dedicated commanders, many of which already mentioned, have had 2 division commanders, 2 wing commanders, 2 MLG commanders, the MSCs, MU commanders, the MiG. The deputy commander of the MEF is also the CG of 2nd MEB, who happens to be deployed right now, Steve Neary. He's my 2nd DCG and 2nd MEB commander. They are the ones that made this happen. They're the ones that made this ceremony have a band on the backside. They did that work. And not only are they great commanders, but we have, fortunately, great staffs that support us. And in my case, again, a litany of folks, the DCGs, as I've mentioned. I've had 2 command master chiefs, 2 aides de camp, 2 chiefs of staff, or 3 if you count them differently. But I've only had 1 sergeant major. And Sergeant Major Thresher, Marissa, thank you for this ceremony. And this is just indicative of what this Marine does every single day for this MEF with the teammate he has in his wife. So thank you, Sergeant Major Marissa. And the G staff all across the board, the staffs that support this MEF are a family, and I appreciate that a great deal. So then we kind of jump to the community, the commands, and the civilians who serve with us. And this community, as you all know, is second to none. When they are all in all the time with their military partners. So whether you're an elected official or whether you are representing an organization, the MAC, the Chamber of Commerce, or a business leader, thank you. Thank you for what you do every day, not just during crisis like Florence, but every day to support the Marines, sailors, families, and civilians at II MEF. And then the commands, whether it's the hospital, you know, our trauma center here, the medical center of Camp Lejeune, or MCI East, of course, the bedrock of what makes Camp Lejeune home to all of us. With all the challenges that they have, they always come through. Scotty Baldwin, the current commander in acting capacity, has done a fantastic job, and we owe them a lot of thanks as well. And in that mix is a whole bunch of civilian folks that, whether they are GS employees or contractors, you know, they don't have to be as dedicated as us in uniform have to be, yet they are. And you can't find anybody that works within the MEF or works within MCI East or the local community that isn't dedicated to the success of this MEF. So I have to thank them significantly as well. To the Beaudreauts, Brian, Karen, we are so fortunate that you are here. We could not come up with a better choice. Your background is one thing, but your time as the division commander here, the Carolina MAGTF, is part home to you as well. We could not come up with a better combination than you two to come join us. For you and your family, thank you for being here, of course, but thank you for the time that you will spend here in the future with this MEF. You are undoubtedly going to take it to the next level. And then Alicia and Zoe. So I start with the Z and then end with the A. Zoe is our rising sophomore going to Meredith College, finished her first year and has got her first real job this summer. She's quite the young lady. We are incredibly proud of her. We love her to death. Zoe, thanks for the sacrifice. Thanks for all that it takes to be a military kid and all it takes to be the military kid of a general officer. Going through the gate and having, you know, a certain look from a certain Marine until he looks at the ID card and then goes, oh shit. Love you. Alicia. Okay, so Odin is my TJ battle buddy, but Alicia's my battle buddy for life. And just a small indication of what she has done for this MEF is a little task she got from a guy senior to me to stand up a spouse leadership seminar that is similar to what has been on the West Coast and out in Okinawa for a while. And of course she said sure. And you know, you would probably pay a contractor or some consulting firm $1 million and it would take them 5 years to do that for you. And Alicia went after it as a labor of love, but it was labor, trust me. And with the help of Marissa Thresher and Jenny Mundy and a handful of other spouses who are here in the audience that helped her out, they pulled it off. And it is an incredible, incredible event when it completely blows your mind when you witness it. So, honey, for that and a million things that you have done in the last 2 years for this MEF and for me and for Zoe and our family, thank you. Love you. Okay, that was the hard part. Okay, I put out a letter to the MEF thanking them, thanking the community as well, so I'm not going to linger other than to tell these Marines that are doing this ceremony tonight how proud I am of them. In that letter, I talk about inspiration and the inspiring way that they have presented themselves and been our inspiration throughout these 2 years, and the honor that it has been to serve with them alongside them. We will miss you. We love you, and we wish the absolute best for you. God bless II MEF. God bless the greater Carolina area and the Carolina MAGTF. Semper Fidelis.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Beaudreault.
Thanks very much. That's all yours, buddy. Thank you. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And good evening, Marines, sailors, civilian Marines, community leaders. You know, we got educators and elected officials and a lot of public servants here, so thank you for taking the time to be with us this evening. I'd like to start by really congratulating the Hedelunds on what's been a tremendous command run. Very, very fortunate to follow his leadership and the positive forward momentum that this MEF has been taking. I've been having a great opportunity to look at this from afar at PP&O, to see the readiness of this MEF, the exercise program of this MEF, the challenges of a hurricane recovery, working with Marine Corps Installations East and getting it back on its feet. So to what has been just a tremendous command tour for you, Fuzzy and Alicia, as a command team, along with the Command Master Chief and the Sergeant Major, and Zoe, to you for all that you've done over the years to allow him to succeed in command. Thank you very much for turning over what is a gem of an organization, me, Fuzzy, and collectively, we will continue to get it done. So thank you very much for that. I'm also indebted to the Commandant. You know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for an opportunity that he's yet provided to me again, sir. So I am so deeply grateful for every opportunity you give me to continue to serve in this organization, along with the awesome leadership that's in the stands and is represented in these formations tonight. Together, we're going to get it done. And we exist for one reason. And you can look between the uprights of that crane, and it's nothing more than to guarantee the national security interests of the United States. And whom shall they send? They're going to send us, because we're going to be ready. There's great power competition and there's lesser state competition. And to me, there's no gray zone. It's in living color of what's going on around the world and our need to be, our requirement to be ready for whatever hits us, both from a deliberate standpoint that we know is coming, and from that which is going to be a strategic shocker that we're going to get called out as a large organization. We exist for two reasons, and that's to go to war and be successful, and that's to meet our day-to-day requirements of what the nation expects. I'm also deeply thankful to my battle buddies that are here. Literally my entire life is represented here, and I'm going to start by thanking my family, my wife Karen, 33 years, who's traveled from the Far East to the Middle East to the East Coast of the United States, north to south, and places in between. Yet the 20th move for us, for PCS, and so I'm deeply grateful for what you do every day for the families, for me, and what you're going to do for all these wonderful family members that may be here tonight as part of the II MEF team. I'm My sister is here from South Carolina. Bev, thanks for making the trip. My brother-in-law came in from Connecticut. Lou, thank you. Our friend Mickey Olson is here. I've got a childhood friend from kindergarten, Semper Fidelis. John Murphy, another public servant. His wife, a police officer. John, a retired state trooper with a young son who's walking in his footsteps and is also destined to do great things. To a lieutenant who served together in my 1st Battalion at 1-3, Wayne Martin. He's got his soccer team here. And I got Scott Hoffman. We were battalion commanders out at 1 MEF together. Steve Ross was my XO at 15th MU was here. Came in from California. Probably gets the long distance award. And my battle buddy when I had 15th MU, Commodore John Padfield, is over here, who we've had an exceptionally great time on deployment together. And John, thank you for that you've done. We've had great mentors here, not only the Commandant, not only following the footsteps of what this great MEF commander has done, but what Lieutenant General Beidler has done when I was a division commander here to show me what right looks like and to what a standards-based organization can achieve. So I'm going to stop there by saying I look forward to working with all the commanders, the staff. I want to thank Marine Corps Installations East for enabling what has been a very easy transition from Karen and I into base housing to get off on the right foot and get running here. So Colonel Scott Baldwin, if you're here, thank you for all that your team has done for us to make it easy. Thanks to Hope Fioravante from the protocol and all the people that set this ceremony up to make this possible tonight, to include the band. It's great to see Jack Davis still leading the division band and all the wonderful things. But for the Marines and sailors out there, we've got a lot of tasks to fill. Busy TEEP, challenging times ahead, great international partners to work with in Europe to guarantee the defense of Europe. But who knows where we're going to end up. But we're going to meet our global force requirements, and we're going to get ready for major combat operations. That's the reasons we exist. God bless you. Thanks for what you do for the nation every day. I look forward to working alongside you to get it done in the future for the next couple of years. Thanks very much. Semper Fidelis.
In lieu of flowers, Lieutenant General and Mrs. Hedelund have made a donation to the Semper Fi Fund, and Lieutenant General and Mrs. Beaudreault have made a donation to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Now, now taking his position in the reviewing area is Lieutenant General Beaudreault.
Pass in review. Right shoulder.
At this time, we would like to invite all past commanding generals of II MEF to join Lieutenant General Beaudreault and Lieutenant General Hedelund in the reviewing area.
Column of commands. Right command. Column right. March. Left turn. March.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are reminded to please stand when the national colors pass, and then again during the national anthem, when you may take your seats.
Eyes. Right.
The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Colonel Robert S. Morgan, Chief of Staff, 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force. The 2nd Marine Division Band is under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer 4 Jack Davis and is led on the march by Drum Major Staff Sergeant John Tay Hall.
Right turn. March.
The commander of troops for II MEF Information Group is Lieutenant Colonel Scott D. Wellborn, Commanding Officer, 2nd Anglico.
All right. Rest.
Troops for 2nd Marine Division is Colonel Farrell J. Sullivan, Chief of Staff, 2nd Marine Division. The Color Sergeant for 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force is Sergeant Dalton Morgan.
Present.
The Commander of Troops for 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing is Colonel Chris J. Boniface, Commanding Officer, Marine Aircraft Group 26.
Order. Parade. Rest.
The Commander of Troops for 2nd Marine Logistics Group is Colonel Michael E. McWilliams, Commanding Officer, Combat Logistic Regiment 2.
concludes today's ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of the Commanding General, 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force, thank you for your attendance today. Invited guests are welcome to the reception in the Getchee Fieldhouse.